What's up everybody, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. So today I'm going to be doing Gaara from the Naruto series, Gaara of the Sand. So a portrait, close up as usual. We're going to start with the right eye, just about the middle of your page here. You're going to find the middle spot, come over, and we'll start with his right eye. So we're going to curve the top eyelid first. So starting here, we're going to curve it up like so, and then around. So Gaara has dark sort of shadows around his eyes, so real thick sort of lines around his the white of his eye. So we'll do that first. So this curves back down this way, and then it's going to go underneath, curving, and then up to his tear duct, just up here to a point. Now in there then we have the white of his eye, so you do that shape again just inside. So following this line, you just come in a small little bit from it, and you're going to curve it around, and you're just doing the same shape, following the shape you just drew, and then around like so, following that shape. Like that. And in there then he has his green eyes, so he's no pupils, just has kind of a turquoise green eye. So you just do curved line for his iris on both sides there, like that. Now we can come over and do pretty much the same thing on the other side. So you do that sort of curved line again. So you could start with, so we started with the outside one. You could have started with the inside. So I'll do that for this one. So you measure an eye, come over, just to be different. So you can do the inside curve this time, just to show that you can do it two different ways. So this is the smaller one now, and then we can go around it with the bigger one. So it curves up and over, just like here. And you can line them up. You could use a ruler. And then this comes down like that. And then there's the iris, like so. So that's the inside one, see? And then you just follow that shape again along the outside, like that. And then this is going to curve around over here to a point, and then it comes down the opposite side around that eye and back over to the tear duct, just here. Like so. And then of course you can color that in black or dark gray. I'm going to go ahead and do it dark black now. Something like that. So then we can start doing the details of his face, so his nose, his mouth, and then his chin, and up around to his ears as usual. So he has some lines just inside here for the bridge of his nose, and another one here. Then we're going to come down to his nose, so it's kind of like if you turned his eye lengthways, maybe if we measure, it's about here. So the nose is usually halfway between the eyes and the chin. So if you found where your chin was, if you found halfway between the eyes, about the bottom of the nose is there. Not exactly, not all the time, but usually about halfway. So if my chin is here, say, my nose should be about halfway. And Gaara's nose is just 2 nostrils. Just like that, very simple. And then the mouth is in between, so the chin and the nose, then we have the mouth just in here, down a bit from the nose. So we can start with just his lip, standard, 2 bumps, like so. And then the bottom lip, like that. And now we can add the chin just down here. And then this will come up to his jaw. And then this one the same, symmetrical. Get it as similar as you can. Like that. Then, so he has, this line will come up to his hair and then his ears are in there. So we'll just keep this line going a bit longer. Same over here. Just underneath his eyes. And then he has hair spikes. So a spike there. A spike beside it. Like so, just 2 here for sideburns. And then you could do 1 or 2 on this side. So spike, hair spike, just for the sides of his head. And then in under there we have ears. So his earlobe is just there, just along sort of that line for where his nose is. And another one here, so just along there. And then this comes up and around to his hair, same over here. And then in there you have the lines for bones and ligaments in the ears. Something like that. You can do it lots of different ways. If you have your own way of doing ears, feel free. You don't have to copy what I'm doing exactly, of course. Give it your own style sometimes. Right, so his hair then comes up around his forehead. So it's just spiking hair, and then there's a gap for his tattoo kind of thing that he has, that writing that he has on his head. So we have a hair spike here. And then another one just above his eye here. This line goes longer. And then we have a gap just on his forehead here. Like so. Another one here. And then we're going to go across with his fringe. Just spiking. Simple spiking lines. Like so. If I go too fast, just hit pause. When I do a spike, just if I spike, you can hit pause, draw, hit play, slow it down that way. Now, so the writing that's on his forehead, it's red, I think, in the anime, but black in the manga. So I'll just do it black because I have a black pen here. So it's just above this eye here, just in this gap. So I'll draw it simply and then I'll thicken it up. So we'll go a curved line that way. And then we have a line just underneath that with 2 lines at the end. Kind of looks like a bench or a table, kind of like this. And then there's an X. So it's kind of here. So it's like an X here. And these are joined together with other lines, but we'll do the main parts first. So it's like an X. Kind of like this. And now I'll thicken those parts up. So we just go just making it thicker, more like calligraphy that's on his head. So that line becomes a comma. This is going to become just a thicker lined section here, making the ends more box-like, something like that. The X will be the same, so we'll just add a thicker end here. This comes down to a spike there. And we'll add a thicker end here. Bring it down. Like that. And now there's little sort of comma lines that connect these three main parts of his tattoo. So there's 3 lines here, 1, 2, 3. And then you can make them a bit thicker. Like that, more or less. Then we have a line that comes across the top of this X. So it comes just across here and touches just the corner of this one like that. So that's just a diagonal line up there. And then I just make it a bit thicker on the end. Like so. And now there's 3 little lines that go from that line up to this straight one up here. 3 little common lines like this one. I hope I'm explaining this right. So a comma line just there, and then you just thicken that up. And then we have a small one just in here. And then you can thicken that up as well a little bit. Another final one just here. Thicken up the bottom. Kinda like that. Maybe we'll make this just a bit pointier on the end. And make this a bit more pointy just here. So that is more or less how to do his forehead tattoo. Right, so we're going to finish his hair, going all around his head. So we just do spikes coming down from his ears, going all the way up and around. So we're going to travel around to the middle of his head, all around the other side to the other ear. So spike, spike, spike. So there are various sizes, following the shape, so the round shape for a head. So these come down, and then they start to spike, sort of like a clock going around, the hands of a clock. So they start to point this way, and as the clock hand goes around, the direction of the spike will change. So we're going around in a radial pattern. That's the fancy way of saying it. It's just hair, bro. Spiking up, down. And now when we're here above his forehead tattoo, we start to go anti-clockwise, so the other way on the clock. Spiking. See? This direction now. And then we go more down beside his ear, like over here. Spike it out. Small ones. Smaller as we get down here. And a real small one just in there. Right, so he has some hair just behind his neck. So we'll get his neck in. So just underneath his eye, you'll add his neck. Underneath this eye, you'll add a line for his neck there. And then his hair spikes coming out from his neck, just in there. You can do the same over here. Just a few hair spikes, 3 or 4. Doesn't have to be exact on both sides, exactly the same on both sides. It can be different. So I did 4, 3. Still makes sense. Now, so he's a collar. This is older Gaara with his sort of dark red uniform on. So we have a collar, a sort of high collar that comes right up to his chin there. Diagonal line down. And then where they tie together, we have another section here. Comes across his neck. And then travels up behind his neck here. Comes down. In like that. And there's a button just right here. Like so. And then we have his shoulder just coming off here. So, let's see, we have a line that comes straight down like that, and then he has his grey shoulder pad that he carries his sand in. So this is the thing that comes across his body and goes across his shoulder and around his back, and then his sand thing is on his back, just there. Sand thing, great description. We have another line just there. And then there's some lines for folds for clothes on this side, so on his shoulder. So this comes down like that. And then we have another one just here. Sand gourd. That's probably what it is. Good job. And then he has just the middle of his clothes like that. Gourd, yeah. I think that's probably the word. So you could draw that in. Of course, I can't see that much of it, so it just like curves around behind his head, curves back down that way off my page. There's the top of it just here, and then he has some writing on this edge, like a box, I think. Like so. The letter U. Then there's some cracks on this. Various. That's pretty old, so there's like scratches. There's a long crack coming down here. And there he is, Gaara of the Sand. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you in the next video.